Hello everyone, I'm the Real Rookie, just a guy who's trying to keep it real. Before I get started with this review, I want to mention a few changes that I'm making to my video format. The first change is one you might have noticed at the beginning of this video. I have an intro now. I'm going to have 4 different types of intros for the 4 different types of videos I want to make on this channel. The videos I want to make will be called Real Reviews for the movie and album reviews, Real Tech for videos where I look back at an old piece of audio or video technology, and Real Talks, where I will just talk about topics that are on my mind. With the Real Talk videos, I won't have an intro. The video will just start, and I won't be talking about anything political. Go to another channel if you want political content. The second change I'm making to the videos are these gloves. They have got to go. They are just way too big for me to grab stuff with. Just give me a second. Ah yes, much better. Now that all that stuff has been cleared up, it's time to get into this Real Review. On this installment of Real Reviews, I'll be taking a look at an album by Styx titled The Mission, which was released in 2017. I was surprised that a band as old as Styx came out with an album so recently. Styx first came onto the music scene in the early 1970s, so they're not exactly the first rock band I would expect to make a new album. Their last album was released in 2005, and by that point, I thought Styx was completely disbanded, but nope, they are still doing their thing. This is a concept album. If you are unfamiliar with concept albums, it's basically an album that tells a story or sticks to a particular theme. Think of it as a movie, but the story is being told through music instead of through visuals. The story of The Mission is about the first manned mission to Mars, and the obstacles the crew face on their mission. If you buy the CD or vinyl record for this album, the booklet that comes with it tells you all about the story in more detail. It even breaks down each song and what each one means in the story. Now, let's jump into this album. This album sounds like something straight out of the 70s. If you told me that this album came out at that time, I wouldn't be hesitant to believe you. Something that also adds to that 70s feel is that this album was released on 2-inch analog tape. Personally, I wouldn't be able to tell you if it was recorded on analog tape or digitally, but it's an interesting fact to know for those who are interested. The production value on this album is great as well. It sounds very clean and smooth, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Nothing sounds overly loud or harsh to the ears. Clean and smooth is the best way I can describe the essence of the sound. I don't really know how else to describe it. Something I really like about this album is how all the tracks seem to mold into each other. For example, when one track is ending, the next track will make a seamless start afterwards. This gives me the feeling that this album is meant to be listened to in one sitting, almost like you are listening to one continuous 40-minute song. I know other albums have done this in the past, like Pink Floyd's The Wall, but this album does it so well that I just couldn't leave out this detail. As I've mentioned before, this album tells the story of the first manned mission to Mars. It does this through the lyrics and music. The lyrics' explanation of the plot is very obvious to notice, but the music is what helps accelerate the lyrics' meaning to subconsciously give you a better grasp of what's going on. For example, the first track, Overture, starts off sounding like the grand opening to a huge event. A peak in human technology has just arisen, and the human race is about to experience something more groundbreaking than the moon landing. It gives you that vibe that something great is about to happen. Another example is the second track, Gone, Gone, Gone. It starts off with an absolute bang, almost like a rocket taking off. It is very upbeat and energetic, which is probably how you would feel if you were going on the first mission to Mars. It also describes in a subtle way how you would get to Mars through the lyrics.
Slingshot to outer space. Here comes the human race. We want it.
If you don't know how space travel works, this is the basic idea of it. They almost literally
slingshot to outer space.
I'll leave a link in the description on how astronauts travel to the moon to help give more context to what this lyric means. It would take me way too long to explain it here. Almost all the tracks use the music to help aid the atmosphere. If a song wants to immerse you in the lonely feelings of space, the guitars or keyboard will make a space-age sound effect, such as in the track Red Storm.
We'll be saved.
Or, if the album wants to give you a vibe of chaos and terror, a chaotic melody will start to play, such as in Key Dive. No joke, if this was Styx's last album before their retirement, I would be perfectly fine with it. If this is to be their last album, they really went out with a bang. I just love this album. Its story is great, and the way the music carries you through it is pretty smooth and seamless. Even if you aren't into this album for the story, the music alone is enough for me to give this album a recommendation. I also like that classic rock feel that this album brings. I don't hear a lot of rock nowadays. I usually have to look to older bands, underground bands, or bands from foreign countries to find rock music. Here's my rating scale. I'm giving Styx The Mission an A+. If you want to listen to The Mission, you can listen to it on Spotify or YouTube. If you want to buy this album, you can get it digitally on iTunes or get the CD or vinyl record on Amazon or Discogs. If you aren't familiar with Discogs, it's basically Blu-ray.com, but for physical copies of music. It's also a database full of artists and their music. If there isn't enough information on Wikipedia about an artist you like, then Discogs will probably have the information you are looking for. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And if you have any criticisms to help me improve my videos, please tell me in the comment section. I'm The Real Rookie, and it's been real.